What's up, everybody?
Welcome to the Tug of More.
Welcome back after a 1-week hiatus from Easter.
That's right. We took our own advice.
Yes.
And we took some rest, took a break. We didn't film anything the week of Easter.
We took pace off the throne.
That's right.
So that we could just rest and
relax and recover.
Cag on my tongue.
No, there's a lot of R words you could say there.
Dude.
It's good.
Yeah, and Whitney and Aaron took a little vacay.
We did. Took some time off. It was good.
And so with them gone, I was like, I could come in here by myself.
Yeah,
Maybe I need to get a Whitney cardboard cutout.
Oh my gosh.
And we just cut to it, and it's just sitting there.
Oh, you have a puppet.
But every time it has a different drink or purse.
That's true. That's actually accurate. I love it. So today we're hanging out. We're going to have a conversation like we do every week. It's a conversation between two friends that are in ministry and life together. And man, we're talking about where we are, where we want to be.
That's the tug of more. You know, we all feel this desire, this idea that there's more for us out of our lives. But man, it's tension, it's tug to get to that place where we want to be.
It's a fight and a struggle to be, we're learning content where we are, but still striving and pushing for more, but without striving. So that's what we're trying not to do.
Every once in a while, there are these moments of like, I see it.
Yeah.
I see where I'm going. I see what it is that I want to do.
So close,
So close. And I think Easter Sunday for every pastor is probably one of those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because for us, Easter was, I can't say packed because our auditorium is gigantic.
Right.
But it was a full day. So many people, full, so much energy, so much passion. Dude, it was an incredible Sunday.
But yet, for us, it was, let's talk about it, the most relaxing, joyful Easter we've ever had. As far as people who work in the church. Like, if you attend Easter all the time, you may not realize how much work goes into it.
Yeah.
But if you work at a church, you know that the week before, even the several weeks before leading up to it, and then the day of, can be a very, intense, stressful, tense time where you're trying to get everything done. And this year, because we've learned to get off the throne, take pace off the throne, I felt like it was just the most fun, joyful Easter ever.
Yeah, it felt calm. It felt easy. You know, my wife, she said to me, Tristan, it doesn't even feel, this was like on Thursday or Friday before Easter. She said, it doesn't even feel like it's Easter coming.
Right.
Which was a compliment and a dang man, you used to ruin my life the week before Easter because I would get so tense and so stressed and I would walk through the message 49 times.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just put so much emphasis on trying to be perfect.
Yep.
That the perfection pushed out just comfort and trusting that God was going to do it. And so we're off the throne, man. It was our first off the throne Easter.
It was. You're right. No, it's true. And I think, man, if you are new to the Tug of More or you haven't been following along, we've been in a series for the last 13 weeks in our church that is called Get Off the Throne, where we're learning that God is, the Bible is our kind of reference point. That's what we base all of our life on.
Yeah.
And God is the one who sits on the throne. In our life, we try to take over all the time, but really, he's the one who wants to be Lord of our life, and we need to let him sit on the throne and us get off of it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've been walking through as a church. But you said it yesterday as you concluded the series. It's not been something we've been teaching. It's not been something you've been writing. It's been something that God has been wrestling with you, wrestling with me, wrestling with us over the last year, really. And so it's it's a new level of conviction for us as people. And I think that being on the tug team, I'm super grateful. Yes, we are Tug of More, the people of it, but we're on the team too.
Yeah.
I'm super grateful that we've learned this valuable lesson. It only took us 40 years to get there, but to know that we can trust God and keep pushing into all that he has for us.
Yeah. I mean, when we named the Tug of More what it is, it was the idea that we're in this fight and just squeeze the rope and pull and drive your legs and fight and grit it out. It was kind of some David Goggins style. I don't know if you know who David Goggins is.
No, but
he's a YouTube guy who runs 10 miles every day. And he's like, don't quit. If you break your knee, keep running. He's kind of like that intense, Navy SEAL.
100%.
Yeah. Navy SEAL, super intensity. And so I had adopted a lot of that, not from David Goggins, but just in my own mentality from my own growing up.
You were the guy who preached with a literally bleeding foot from stepping on a nail.
Yeah.
I'm the lady who worked on Christmas with 104-degree temperature.
Right.
That's just who we are. We're we're doing it. And so we can't quit.
And so that's been kind of a part of our mantra is get it done, pay the price, die.
No matter the cost.
Yeah. And then we're realizing that maybe you don't have to have that approach.
Yeah.
Maybe you can still give your very best. You can still work incredibly hard and you can still rest.
Right.
And you can still trust that God's going to do the things.
Well, and
in the whole series, we've been quoting Psalms 103, where it talks about how God's throne is above all.
Right.
All.
Right.
All things.
All of it.
And so if he's above all, dude, that's me and my sermon. Now, that doesn't mean that we shift into laziness.
No, not at all.
But come on, how hard are you going to work yourself to death?
Well, and we used to live with that mantra of like, no matter the cost. Now we're realizing, oh wait, that cost is way too costly.
Yeah.
And it's not really getting us anywhere.
Yeah.
Like we're paying this ultimate price for something that is not actually the thing that's getting us there. God's the one who's getting us where we're going. The Bible's very clear that he's the one who promotes. He's the one who puts people up where they belong. He's the one who makes our, man makes their plans, but God directs the steps. If we'll trust him, we don't have to pay such a high cost that isn't actually worth getting us there in the first place.
Yeah. So if you follow the Tug of More, but don't ever check out any of our content at More Church, I'd encourage you to go to More Church's YouTube page. We can probably link that somewhere. And to go and just check out some of those messages.
Absolutely.
There's different topics every single week that we're hitting. And I'm sure that one of those topics is going to spark a curiosity in you or a challenge for you that you're like, man, I need to take my pace off the throne. I need to take my picture, my image off the throne.
For sure.
Go and listen to one of those and chew on it.
Yeah, super good. I think if you were on the Tug team, for sure, there's going to be one, but there's probably going to be many because so many people throughout the series would say to me, are y'all done? Like every week you're hitting me in the face. Yeah. Every week you're convicting me. I think they were such deep like truths of life that you're going to find a lot that you'll connect to.
Okay. So at the end last week of the message, I said, I feel a little torn because there's still all these ideas that I want to cover. There's all these things that we still have to learn to take off the throne. And I threw a couple out, and we're going to talk about them over the next few weeks.
Yes.
Every week was a P word.
That's right.
Power, plan, picture, preference, protection, people.
Pride.
The purse.
The purse. That was
all
a great
these
one.
things. And so I threw out a bunch yesterday. Yeah. I said, you got to take pudding off the throne.
That was hilarious.
So we're going to do that.
Pudding.
You got to take porn off the throne.
Yep.
We're going to do that one.
Yep.
Get ready.
That's right.
You got to take
what's another one you
passivity
said?
off the throne.
That was good.
You got it. And then I said, I had a guy in the church a couple weeks ago come up to me and he said, Pastor, I need you to do me a favor. I said, okay, what's up? He said, I need you to add a week to the series, and I need you to talk about take your phone off the throne.
Yes.
And he said, it's for my wife. My wife, she'd be looking at her phone too much. And do you know that guy came up to me after first service and said, Pastor, thank you for not calling me out.
Yeah, he did. I was standing there. He was like, oh my God. When you said it, I was like, oh, he's going to say my name. He's going to say my name. And he's like, but thank God you got my back, Pastor. You did not say my name.
I'm not going to sell you out.
No.
I want to say his name and then just bleep it. And then just bleep his name out.
Beep, no.
But I think that's something that we have to learn. That we have to be willing to take this off the throne.
I thought you were going to do rhymes with. But no, yeah, it's true because our phone, because of that, you gave some stats. We spend 7 hours a day
looking at a screen.
Any screen. So that's computer. That right now you're looking at a screen if you're watching this podcast. Your computer, your phone, your laptop, iPad, whatever.
The television.
Yeah.
We had a staff meeting the other day, and one of our younger guys on the team, a new season to a show came out. He said, yeah, I watched the whole episode this weekend.
The whole season.
And I went on and looked at 10 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
They're all an hour. So that means on Friday and Saturday, this dude watched 10 hours. That's but
what's
me.
What's his name? Rhymes with. Oh wait.
But me too.
Yeah,
I'm saying
We've all
dude,
done that.
I will watch all the Rockies. Now, not all. There's a lot of them, but you find yourself just like
we watched
zombied.
all the Godfathers over Christmas break because I had never seen them.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know this? I've never seen this. So we watched it. What is your face?
No, I feel like that's a movie that
I should have seen.
Yeah, you should have seen.
But I didn't.
But did you watch it because you saw the documentary on the making of The Godfather?
100%.
See what I'm saying? She didn't really want to watch it.
So wait a minute.
She saw the documentary first.
First, I binged the documentary.
Yeah, of course.
Then I binged the movies.
I was like, you didn't watch. Oh, now you're interested because of the documentary.
Interested. That's why. Yes,
that's
very
weird.
Good.
You're weird.
I know. Well, hello.
The documentary.
Hello, pot, kettle. What is it? I'm like, how many times have you done that?
Yeah, a bunch.
So then you said,
I've started watching all the Dude, there's so many Waco documentaries.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, what are you calling me out for my documentaries?
Yeah, no.
You literally send them to me all the time.
I can't not watch the like crazy religious documentaries because I'm like,
so interesting.
Dude, I hope I don't ever do that.
I don't want to do that, but also we see where we could.
What if I started adding books to the Bible?
No.
What if I had like a vision and I was the Messiah?
We would have some, we would see the line right here.
Can you imagine claiming you're the Messiah?
No, it's absurd.
It's crazy. We're all over the place.
They go in
today.
the woods and they get it like, oh man. Anyway, wait, what were we talking about? Oh yeah.
Take your phone off.
3.5 hours of those 7 hours are said to be on our phones
in
a day. And then you said, when we add that up, that's 3 months out of the year. And that's just average.
Yeah.
So that includes like the 7-year-olds all the way to the 70-year-olds. So when you figure that out, in our age range, it might even be more than that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm about to throw myself on the bus.
Okay, let's do it.
So this weekend at the church, we had a women's conference.
Yes.
And it went incredible. I did not come. I'm not a woman.
You were not a lady.
I was not allowed to come.
Yeah.
And so even though I would love to come and speak at the women's conference sometime.
Okay, well, we'll make sure you
TD
do.
Jakes, woman, thou art loosed.
Yeah.
It's TD Jakes.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
Woman, thou art loosed.
Okay.
Let me in. Okay. And so anyways.
Women love it when dudes tell them that they're not any longer crazy because they said so.
Listen, I'll just come and say how crazy all their husbands are.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Go.
So Rachel's up here Friday night, all day Saturday. All day. She gone early. She don't get home till it's dark.
Yeah.
She's gone all day. Which means that I am fully watching the kids.
Yeah.
Which happens, but not like that often, you know? And so Rachel, before she leaves, Dad's in charge. Before she leaves, she's like, hey, don't let them watch their iPads all day. I was like, I'm not gonna. Those kids ain't watching their iPads at all.
Right.
Unless like I got to do something.
Right. Or unless I find something to watch.
And so I'm telling you, I thought my kids barely watched the iPad.
That's what you thought?
That's what I thought. Me and Titus were building Legos. We raced RC cars. Me and Lillian are coloring stuff. We cleaned Lillian's room. Good God.
Hey.
Bags of stuff. We're about to have a garage sale.
That's good.
Pay my mortgage off.
There you
with
go.
How much stuff we took out of Lillian's bedroom. Like I was a good dad. I did good all day. Rachel got home, grabbed their iPads, looked at their screen time. Each of them had watched their iPad for 4 hours.
Wow.
And I was like, no, they didn't.
Right.
No, there's no way that they watched their iPads for 4 hours.
They did.
They did. I had no idea.
Wow.
I would have bet $1 million.
Yeah.
I don't even have $1 million.
Right.
I would have bet $1 million that they had watched it less than an hour.
Yeah.
But throughout the day, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. Hey, Daddy, can I? Well, the other thing, they're tricky. Kids are tricky.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I want to call my friend.
Oh, okay.
And so Titus will like call one of his friends, but then they can like screen share and they're playing, what's that game with the bricks?
Minecraft.
They're playing Minecraft or something. There's like some Jesus Minecraft.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. So they're like sharing screens, but they're really just playing a video game. They're not even talking to each other.
Yeah.
Why am I telling you that story? Not because I'm a horrible father. I'm telling you that story because the best of us still
actually I'm a wonderful father, but
still lose track of how much time you're just watching something.
We're recording a podcast right now, and I have looked at my phone 3 times while recording a podcast.
What are you looking at?
Well, it vibrated, and so sometimes the staff things, and I'm just like, what's going on? And then my husband is supposed to be flying right now to New Jersey, and his plane got delayed again, and so they're waiting for an airplane part. What does that even mean? Why do they need an airplane part?
Your husband might
no, don't say those words. Okay, so because my phone is...
Aaron's a pilot. He'll just go up there and take the wheel and...
He got it.
Land in the Hudson.
So because it's sitting next to me and it keeps bzz, 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 I felt it and I thought, I wonder what's going on. I better look at it.
Yeah.
We're addicted to these things because they've now become like a part of us.
Yeah, they're a part of us.
When was the last time you left the house without your phone?
I can't remember. And if I did, I immediately turn around and get it.
Right. When you were in high school, did you have a phone to carry around? Like there were so many years of our lives.
When I was in high school, I had a truck phone.
It was a truck
with a big cord on it that went to a big battery thing
in your car?
Went under the seat.
Yeah.
And it plugged in. Previous to that, I had a pager.
Well, yeah.
What's up?
Beep, beep, beep,
My mom
beep,
said, Tristan, you don't need a pager. The only people that have pagers are doctors and drug dealers, and you are neither.
and somehow you got a pager anyway.
Somehow I got a pager. and I would wear a hat and I would clip it on my hat.
Oh my gosh, of course you did. You were that guy.
I wish I had a photo.
I know.
I wish I had a photo of me in a t-shirt with my sleeves rolled up,
Brenda.
with a hookah shell necklace,
oh, yeah,
with a hat on with a pager clipped on it.
Oh my gosh.
Listening to some God knows what.
Yes.
Driving around with the subwoofer so loud.
In your car, and then your phone, and then your car phone,
bag phone.
Bag phone. That's what I was going to say.
But I think that this phone is a great tool, but man, it can also be a thing that steals from us. Yeah. Rachel said, oh, the other piece is now we all get the earbuds.
Oh yeah.
So I will live my life with one earbud in. And so everywhere I am, I'm only halfway there.
Yeah.
Because I'm home doing Legos with Titus, but I also have an earbud in, and I'm also listening to a sermon, or I'm also listening to a comedian, or I've got this other thing going that's distracting me. Like on Saturdays, I've talked about I make the kids breakfast.
Yeah.
And so I'm up making pancakes and all the things for the kids, and I got headphones on.
Yeah.
And so Rachel, she said to me the other day, she was like, "Hey, Tristan, I got to talk about something that's kind of serious." I was like, "Oh crap, okay." She was like, "You have your headphones on too much when you're at the house."
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I don't."
Wow, you had your headphone in?
But I knew how you're like, "No, I don't."
Yeah.
But I do.
Yeah.
And you realize like, man, my phone, it's an attention thief.
When we first started working together like full time, I was very addicted to just keeping my laptop out all night long at home. Just still working, just still getting junk done. There was a lot. The church was behind on a bunch of stuff. We were trying to catch stuff up. I just got really addicted to, working, I guess. And so in counseling and in conversation, my counselor was like, you got to put your laptop away. Like 6 p.m., it goes away. There's no reason why you should take it out until work the next day. And I was like, okay, so I made this commitment. I'm going to do that, right? But then about a year and a half ago, Aaron and I were talking, and maybe even as recent as 6 months ago, we got like even more serious about it. And he was like, hey, I know you don't take your laptop out at home anymore, but you have that phone right next to you, and you will respond to any message, any email, any conversation at any moment. And he's like, when you're home with me, that's like our time, but you're letting our time get stolen by everybody else's time. And I was like, dang, you're right. And so then I just started paying attention. Like, when you're not all the way aware, it's what you said with the kids. Like,
I wasn't aware I was doing it.
You're not all the way aware of it. And so then I'm like, oh, dang, I have a lot of conversation that I'm having throughout the night that is not allowing my brain to, oh, no wonder I'm not sleeping. I'm not turning my brain off. And oh, no wonder I'm not fully remembering the story that my daughter told me, because I'm also listening to this conversation, paying attention to this conversation. And so we made kind of like a commitment, like no phones at dinner. And then like, we still have them. It's not like they're not around, but that we won't like just let them be right next to us anymore. And it's actually been really amazing to see like how much, connection. Like that's the funny part is like we have these to be connected. Yeah. And yet they keep us disconnected to the people we're actually next to.
Yeah. And in a marriage, it takes two to make it work.
Absolutely.
Because I've talked to Rachel before about putting her phone down.
Yeah.
But then I still have mine.
Right.
Or she's talked to me, Trust, put your phone down, but she's still over there texting.
Yeah.
And then like, well, if you're doing it, I'm just sitting here by my, I'm not talking, don't got nobody to talk to. And I think that if we can just become aware that our phone has gotten on the throne, our phone is now this thing that we're worshiping. Right. That we're like desperately attached to. Right. That it's a problem. At night, we'll put our kids are still little, so we'll put the kids to bed. And then after the kids are in bed, it's now like 8:30, and we're like, like, mama, daddy, play with me, help me, I'm crying, I want food. Like, once all of that stops, it's kind of like you just want some silence. Some silence. Yeah. And so for Rach and I, it can be easy to settle into. We sit on the couch, and I'll sit on the couch and have my laptop on my lap and the television on and my phone with me and an Apple Watch on my wrist. Right. And I'm in this weird matrix. Yeah. Minority Report screen situation where I have like a TV show on, I'm like half watching and like I'm half searching for something and I'm half looking at YouTube or Facebook. That's not good. Right. No, right. That's not good. It's funny because I think we've watched all those like futuristic shows. Like I think of WALL-E. I think of like WALL-E. You just said Minority Report. Some of these like
shows where you saw people only engaging in like the electronics around them.
The Terminator.
Yeah. And you're like, that's absurd. But then when you paint the picture you just painted, it's like, no, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
But it sure looks like that.
Well, the four of us get together and watch Surrogates together?
Yes.
A while ago?
Yes. That was such a weird, yes.
There's this Bruce Willis movie from like the early 2000s maybe?
Yeah, 2000s.
Where you, like everybody has a surrogate robot. So you don't actually go out and in life. You're a robot. And I remember watching that when it first came out, like, this is crazy. This is never going to happen. Mm-hmm. But now we're so addicted to these things.
That's what I was going to say. Don't you think?
Did you hear about the AI girlfriends?
No.
Okay. So have you
a different YouTube algorithm?
No. So there's this controversy. You've seen all these AI like drawings.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Have we talked about that on here?
I don't think so.
I'm in a third level rabbit hole. I got a guy that I've known for a long time, and he posted a new profile picture.
Yes.
And the dude looks incredible.
He looks super handsome.
I screenshot it and sent it to him.
I'm like, oh my word, what happened to him?
My man lost 100 pounds.
He looks
got
good.
a haircut, wearing a $5,000 suit.
And a nose job. Like, he looks great.
Like, this guy looks, whoa, this man is handsome. Nope. It's an AI photo of himself.
Right.
Because I clicked on it and then I started scrolling through his thing, and the dude looks just as bad as he always has. Anyways.
And it says like, click here to try your AI
It's like
photo.
a whole new level of catfish.
Yeah.
Anyways, so AI tech has now grown into this whole thing. And so you can make AI friends. You have an AI friend that you're just in conversation with. It's an artificial robot. Well, so somebody made a program that it can be your girlfriend.
That is very
strange. So all these guys sign up and they get this AI girlfriend, and they're their girlfriend for like 6 months.
No, that's not.
No, I promise.
No, I believe you, but I'm saying that's crazy.
So then the company just shuts the program down, and dudes started killing themselves. Literally, like real people started ending their life because they lost the only meaningful connection that they had in their life. That's the only person that they could talk to, but it's not a person.
Yeah.
And like, we hear that now and we go, that's crazy.
Right.
That's bananas.
Yeah.
But like, we would have 20 years ago, you would have thought it was bananas for a person to have 3 screens around them every evening.
Right. Correct.
That looks like how they launched the space shuttle.
Correct. Well,
I look like I could launch a space shuttle from my couch after I put my kids to bed.
Right.
iPad, TV, laptop, phone, computer on my wrist.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, how long until our society is only plugged in?
Yeah, well, I read a stat recently that the 9 to 11-year-old age range is now like the most depressed group of kids that has ever been in America. And it all is based on the idea of FOMO from screens.
Yeah.
And like the reason we look at our phone, like I'm here with you, we're filming a podcast. This is one of my favorite things I get to do in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look at my phone to see what's text I'm getting. But that's what we do. We have these screens because though you're with your wife, though I'm with my husband at home, whatever, though we're out at lunch with our friends, how many times we go out to lunch and then other people, we're all on our phones. It's like, wait a minute. But there's a fear that we're going to miss out on something happening here that we might not know the information, we might not see it. And we are now full of content that if we have any like, I don't know, when we're quiet, when we're in the silence, it can feel very like sad.
Well, I think that the kids that are battling that depression, it's because normal things no longer satisfy.
Yeah.
My kids don't want to go out and ride their bike.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I was a kid, all I wanted to do was ride my bike.
You would leave your house, go play forever, and then you're either knew a time you had to be home or your mom would be out in the yard going, Tristan, get inside for dinner, right?
No, my dad bought this thing at, I don't know, like an auction.
I knew there was going to be a story.
It was an alarm that they would sound when a tornado was coming through.
And that's how they got you to come home?
My dad, we lived in a neighborhood.
There was going to be a crazy story.
We lived in a neighborhood. And just in the middle of summer, my dad would turn on the tornado siren in our garage.
And that would be Tristan, it's time to come home.
So loud. I would hear it from 2 miles away.
That is the most absurd thing, but I said it because I knew there would be a story. I knew
and I would ride my bike home.
Oh my gosh.
How did the cops not show up?
Exactly.
To my house?
Because everybody...
Well, because he would turn it off before anybody would ever catch it.
Oh my word.
Anyways, it's easy to get trapped. And then we got old Elon working on the Neuralink.
Hey.
You know the Neuralink? They already got it working in pigs.
They do?
Yeah, they got the thing. They can plug it into a pig's brain, and it has a bunch of wires that goes into the pig's brain, and they can control the pig and make it walk around and do stuff.
That is crazy.
Neuralink. It's coming. They drill a hole. Brady's over here getting freaked out.
She's like, I gotta go.
They drill a quarter-size hole in your skull.
Really?
Yeah, and they insert like thousands of wires into your brain.
Oh, my word.
So I'm saying soon we won't even need to look at Instagram. It'll just be plugged into us.
What's another reason why our throne gets on? Or wait, I said it backwards. Our phone gets on our throne. What's another reason?
Sorry, I'm going very conspiracy theorist. I apologize.
It's interesting. I just am thinking.
It gets. I think it just habit.
So there's
just
habit.
The habit.
There's
and
the
then
convenience.
you said the word addiction.
Yeah.
I think that addiction it happens to us. But then there's it's an easy way to disappear.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to disappear.
Yeah.
Have you ever known somebody who will pretend like they're on a phone call and they're not on a phone call?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to say hello to whoever's in the room, or they don't want to have to stop and have a conversation, or they just want to.
So instead of feeling awkward, like I went to my doctor the other day, and he's on the third, my doctor. I went to get an IV.
Yeah.
Shout out. I went to go get an IV. I was feeling like garbage. So me and Rachel go, and we get on an IV. We have to ride up an elevator, 3 floors.
Yeah.
And there are like 3 or 4 other people on the elevator. Every person pulls out their phone.
Yeah.
And we're all standing in the elevator in complete silence. You know how long an elevator ride is? 25 seconds.
Right.
But that awkwardness, all of us pull our phone out, and now maybe we're emailing. Yeah. Maybe we're checking a text message. Maybe we're making stock trades.
Right.
Or maybe we're just wasting our time on Instagram.
Yeah.
But do you know what we're really doing? Feeling not awkward in the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that we use this as a tether to beat awkwardness.
Yeah. To avoid. But does it really work? No.
If you think about what's more awkward, that's more awkward.
Correct.
We take our staff to lunch every week.
Yeah.
And sometimes the staff table will be divided, the oldies and the youngies.
Yeah.
Is what we'll say.
Yeah.
And for a while.
The ain'ts and the saints.
The ain'ts and the saints. And so
I realize that ain't sounds like they're not like they're
nice.
Losers. I don't mean they're ain't losers. Just they ain't saints.
And they want, and sometimes we'll look over there and that table isn't talking at all.
Yeah.
They all have their phone out. or they're playing a game.
Or they're playing a game with each other on their phone. It's
playing
absurd.
Scrabble, or I don't know what they're playing over there.
It's really funny.
What is that game? Words with Friends?
Yeah.
These aren't your friends. This is a computer program.
It's true. Well, you know, a few years ago, Aaron and I were in Las Vegas, and we were on an elevator. As you're telling this, it made me think of it. And I did exactly that. I pulled out my phone.
And you met Marcus Lemonis?
And Aaron, because he doesn't always be sucked into his phone.
Sorry, I stole your story.
No, you stole my story, but it's okay.
I'm still mad.
All of a sudden, Aaron goes, "Hey, this guy, how are you, man?" And like, I was on my phone. I would have been on the elevator with Marcus Lemonis and not realized he was on the elevator with me. But my husband, thankfully, is going to talk to anybody on an elevator. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
And so instead, we got to meet him. He was super nice. He talked to us, took a picture with us, all the things.
And then he invested $30 million into more church.
I wish.
That's how we're doing everything we're doing here.
It's absurd. I wish. But like, think about how many things we miss in life because we're looking down instead of up. And I, afterward to my husband, he literally is like, "That's what happens, Whitney, when you're always on your phone. You're not gonna." But I'm like, "You're right. Like,
you know what else we miss from our phone?
What?
Green lights.
Holy junk.
You want to make me mad?
Especially on Turner Warnell.
You want to make me mad? I'll be sitting through a light and it turns green and the person in front of me just sits there.
Yeah.
And in my big truck.
Yeah.
You know, I used to have a big truck. Now I have a little baby truck.
Right.
But in my big truck, I could see down into their
the
car
cab or whatever,
from how high I was.
Yeah.
And I could see them looking at their phone, and dude, that truck had a horn. Like I had put a, upgraded horn on the thing. I would honk at them people.
Hold on. It was a tornado siren.
Yeah, hey, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And so I would honk at those people and they would, oh, and they would go. Now I got this, I'm basically driving a wheelbarrow around. Beep, beep. It's so small.
Yeah. Saying, beep, beep.
The horn, have you heard the horn on that truck? It's so embarrassing. But dude, I'm laying it on them.
It's fine.
It sounds like a wheelchair's behind them. One of them Walmart wheelchairs when I hit the horn. Because we just sit at intersections and why we're driving a giant vehicle around.
Correct.
And we could die.
Correct.
Because we're checking Instagram.
Right. Instead we're looking, because we might miss something or because.
Okay, so what do we do? What's the challenge for our tug team?
No, I think the best challenge is either hey, one of our team recently, he got a secondary phone to turn off of his work phone during the week. And I think that, now that's extreme, but for him, that's what he's walking through and learning right now. I think giving yourself the like time to turn it off, now I'm very self-competitive kind of person. Mm-hmm. So if I tell myself a time, I'm going to do it because I just can't stand to lose at myself. But if you are able to do that, then do it. If not, like give it over to somebody. Yeah. Like try it. Easton one year, he and his friend Jake from high school, they bought flip phones for like 30 days. They got rid of their iPhones and for 30 days. I think you just have to try whatever your personality level and then whatever your addiction level is. Yeah. You have to try something to say, hey, I'm going to give myself a break. I know Rachel has, well, you even said it. She checks the time on like the screen time, but she has now screen time things on her like Instagram, Facebook, whatever, where she can only be on so many hours in a day or an hour a day.
Rachel has it so that it locks you out. Now, what I will say in my defense is she had it on the kids. So the kids can only have an hour of screen time a day on their iPads. Yeah. Well, what neither of us knew until this weekend is that the kids had found out the password to reset the screen time. Okay. But we didn't know this.
Yeah, kids.
And so I think Lillian, because she's kind of,
she's in a different font.
Yeah, in a different font. Lillian somehow found the password. Yeah. And then every 30 minutes is going over and putting the password into Titus's iPad and into her iPad. Oh, and so I'm not really being that aware because I'm like, they're going to get an hour of screen time.
That's all they got.
Bunch of little jokers. And so we have to put our own screen time timer. I have a bunch of apps in a folder that, look what I've called it. Look at the top.
Why?
So I've put these things in a folder called why. And I'm like, why am I clicking on Instagram? Why am I clicking on Safari? Why am I clicking on YouTube?
That's actually smart.
Why? And so now every time I click this folder, it's just like a mental check to remind myself, like dude,
what am I doing?
Don't waste your life here.
Yeah. And then the thing about these devices that we have, they also have opportunities and tools to help us. When my husband and I were gone this last week, he had a conference. So there was some time that he was away and I just had alone time. And I was like, I really need to like just abide and rest and be on my own. And so I put it on focus or whatever. There's like an app, like now you can choose to put it on focus time, which meant I was on do not disturb for like 2 hours straight. And so I told him like, you can, the people that are important in your life, they call you twice back to back, they can get a hold of you. But I said, hey, I'm not going to look at my phone for 2 hours. And it was crazy because I came back and I had all these messages, but the truth was none of it was urgent that needed to be reached or dealt with right that minute. And then I was able to actually put myself in a space to be like quiet and abide and be alone. And it was great. So I'm like, there's plenty of tools to help us. Yeah. I think we have to do that.
My phone has hurt my prayer life too.
Yeah.
Because I'll go, you said abide, I'll go to spend time with God. And I used to only have my Bible and my journal, but you just have your phone in your pocket.
Right.
And it's so easy to be pulled out of sync.
Yeah.
And so I found myself now, like when I'm praying or prepping for a sermon, I'll throw my phone on my couch in my office here at the church because it's like once you get pulled out of that train of thought, it's hard to get pulled back in. Yeah. But that's happening to us in conversation with our wife. That's happening with us as we're trying to balance our budget. That's happening all over while we're trying to drive 75 down the freeway. Right. We're just being distracted. Yeah. And I think that's maybe the best way to describe what the phone does. Yeah. Is it just distracts us from what we should be doing.
Right. From the people that we should be around, from the things we should be doing, and from the life that we're really trying to live,
I heard somebody say that if aliens came and invaded Earth, they wouldn't need to say, take us to your leader, because they would assume that we are already being led by these.
It's true.
Isn't that a weird concept?
Yeah.
Like if a outside entity were able to come in and observe humanity to see who's in charge, they would assume from just watching that we're taking our orders from this little box.
100%.
That something in this isn't controlling us because we're all walking around. And I'm like, so now whenever I find myself in public, like looking at this, I'm like, aliens are watching. I got super conspiracy theory.
No, but it's true. I think that's super. It's super good wisdom just to be aware.
Yeah.
You and I talked about it even just a couple weeks ago, just realizing that we both have struggled with that, having the phone as something that as stealing from our time, distracting us from our lives, and just being aware has been the first step to like, okay, and then setting some parameters that can really help, and then being accountable. We talk about it all the time, but just having someone. You said in a marriage it takes two. So in marriage, in friendship.
Look, I'm going to call right now.
Oh, come on.
Spam risk, loser.
So many. And then even like Aaron and I went to this restaurant recently where you have to put your phone in a sleeve and they lock it during dinner. And it was actually like amazing because at first we're a little twitchy.
Yeah.
Because like, oh man, I don't have my phone. But then we were able to have like real deep, not distracted conversation. And so we do that sometimes with our kids. Like, okay, no phone. This is a no phone dinner. Like, put your phone on the counter. We're all sitting at the table. Like, and I think just having somebody in your life that can help you shake that up. Hey, we're not going to have phones tonight. Hey, let's put our phones away. Whatever. We do it in staff meetings sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, put the electronics away because we realize it's easy to get distracted. And so, yeah.
A big question is, what are you missing?
Right.
Because you're distracted by that.
Yeah, for sure. How much conversation are you not picking up on? You're hearing parts of stories, or you're missing details, maybe even in your job because you're looking at your phone.
Or how much quicker of little tasks could you get done? Like,
oh my word.
I'll be organizing my closet, you know?
Oh my word, yeah.
I'll be organizing my closet or folding laundry or doing something like that, but I've got my iPad out and a headphone in. And so like, I'm like putting laundry away, but I'm also carrying my iPad. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, got a laundry basket and an iPad. And I'm like, do you know, I could probably get it done 3 times faster if I only focused on getting it done.
Yeah, I know you guys look the way you look when you wake up and then the way you look once you get ready.
Us? Oh yeah.
You guys, men. Yeah.
I looked exactly how I look right now
like this.
at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I went to the gym this morning, looked exactly like this, and then now I'm here and I look exactly like this.
Right.
But women have a different...
We have a process, and I found that like... in getting ready, drying my hair, all the things, fix my hair, put the makeup on. If I start a conversation with somebody, I am guaranteed I'm going to be 30 minutes behind. Like,
that's what happens.
It happens all the time.
I know.
but it's like, what am I doing? Stop. You're going to see these people at work in 30 minutes. Go get ready and go to work. But and I'm like, golly, I've got to get better at the discipline to say, putting it away.
So guys, here's what we need to do. We need to turn this podcast off
and
then throw your phone out your car window. Just yeet it straight out the window. Bye. You don't need it anymore.
That's right.
I think that as long, what you said was so good, just awareness. If we can just admit and be aware, dude, I'm spending too much of my energy looking at something that's not benefiting me. Seeing what guys I went to high school with ate for dinner does not benefit my life at all. And randomly scrolling on Instagram or Amazon looking at stuff I shouldn't buy. Yeah. It's not helping me at all.
One last piece that I think we have to say because of who we are, because we're pastors, is like, what things are you missing from God?
It's true.
That he wants to speak to you because instead you're looking at Instagram, Amazon, listening to a murder podcast, whatever it is that like, hey, I hear it all the time where people are like, hey, God hasn't spoken to me in a long time. And I'm like, well, have you listened in a long time? You know, like, and I'm just as guilty of it as anybody else. And so like, pay attention. When we're aware, then we can take some time to pay attention, and then we might be surprised what we pick up on.
Dude, God wants to talk to us.
Right.
He's up in heaven just waiting for us to give him 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Give him 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I'm like David in the Bible, like the reason he has all those songs he wrote, all those things, he spent a whole lot of time out with sheep. He didn't have no Apple podcast to listen to.
Holy crap.
He didn't have no, like, you know what I'm saying?
But he's just out in a field with a harp.
Out in the field. And like, of course he wrote the Psalms.
If we're out, I can't be on an elevator without being entertained.
Right.
I can't sit on the toilet without having to watch somebody.
It's absurd.
It's absurd, man.
Yeah.
God can't even, I'm in the shower listening to a podcast.
Yeah, so it's not.
God's up in heaven like, Trustin's ears are always full.
Yeah, right.
His ears are always full.
Yeah.
And so maybe you really need to throw your cell phone out your car window.
Maybe you need to eat it.
Guys, we love y'all.
Love you guys.
We only want the best for you.
Yep.
I know this is a kind of different topic. We usually do a lot of leadership stuff, but I think that this really is a big leadership idea.
Leadership is leadership.
You're probably just sitting in your church office just watching stupid stuff on your phone anyways.
Hey,
I'm so busy. Man.
Love y'all.
Love you.